Hello everybody and welcome back to Tlatoani, where we are starting to work on getting this area down over here nice and ready to go for some farming. And the idea here is that this is going to be food production in this area. So the next area that we would like to focus on would be out over here, and I'm currently thinking that we would just do a canal here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this would go up like that in theory. So this should be 6 by 6, which it is. Okay, perfect. So that would be fine. And then as far as chinampas over here would go, we would only need these two, I think. I don't think there's anything else here. Yep, correct. So that looks good. Right, we're in fast speed. And then I would want to take a road out over here, and I'd probably put this right about here for right now. Okay. So we'll get that going, and the idea there is as these chinampas mature, we're going to get that, we're going to get this started farming. And then this out over here will be the next project there. And that'll all be gathered by this porter yard. Although we're going to need more porter yards eventually as we get through this. There's a lot of space out over here that we're going to be reclaiming eventually. So for now, that seems fine. And the real question that I have right now is what exactly is going on with these areas? So that's staff that we need there. This home needs access to more education. We have education here, but it doesn't actually quite reach there. Okay, but that's just to evolve. We don't necessarily want to evolve these. We just want workers there, right? So we need people to come in. We're in good mood right now, so it should theoretically be fine. Emphasis on theoretically. So down over here, this is still a swamp. That actually needs to be chinampa'd. Okay. I didn't realize that one was there. So we need a chinampa to come in here. And this is, of course, going to be, once again, fully farmed. So that's fine. And actually, these 6x6s include the large cottage inside. So we need to decide where we want the large cottage to be. Well, it's going to have to be in this corner if the bridge is going to be there. I was planning on having them be out here, but that would actually be 4 spaces too many. So that's definitely interesting, now that I think about that. This is going to break this a little bit. So that's good to know. I would definitely love to see people getting moved in over here, but let's take a look at what we've got going on with our noble compounds. So more diversion. That's interesting because we have this alcove here. We have this alcove here. Both of those are providing diversion. And we have this sauna here, also providing diversion. So I would think that this noble compound would have plenty of diversion. A house, a plaza, house of song, or ball court nearby. So we could maybe cram in a plaza somewhere down this way. I'm wondering about maybe like up here. We'd probably have to chinampa it though. So that would be out to like here. So that would mean chinampas out over this direction, right? And we don't have a huge amount of access to chinampas out here. We can get a few of them going, something like this, and start reclaiming this a little bit at a time. So this is going to be a little ways away as well. It doesn't want to do a ramp here. We'd have to do the ramp here. Okay. So for now, we can get started on that. And I don't even know how well this will reach the noble compound from here. We may actually have to consider putting the plaza up here and having 2 connections, one here and one here. This may actually be a much better plan. So if we were to put a plaza up here, that's... Oh, it requires symmetry. That's going to make things even more spicy. Okay. I don't think we have access to the House of Song or the Ball Court. So that's very interesting. Diversion is currently at 20 out of 25. So 62% access to alcove, 95% access to the sauna. I'm surprised it only has 62% access to the alcove, considering we have 2 within range. But I'm based on how this works. We don't seem to get multiple diversion for having an additional alcove. So that means we have to have a plaza nearby, because we don't have access to the others. That's gonna make things awkward. This one needs diversion. This one needs maze. So I'm not terribly concerned about that right now. Keep in mind we only have to upgrade 3 of these. So ambience out over here. Now this has got the diversion. Hang on. 14 diversion from the alcove from 87% access, and 14 from the sauna from 87% access. Ah, only one person is working in this sauna. So it's only giving half of the efficiency. So what we need is people over here. We need people. A plaza is actually not necessary over here. That's good to know. I'm still going to leave these here for now, and I want to check in over here. So this Chinampa is still needing 5 timber. That's understood. So we're going to get to work on all of this out over here. That'll get finished up in the eventual times. So we're going to need these to mature, but for now, this shouldn't actually need to be matured unless we were to put this in here. But if we did here, yeah. So this canal bridge actually has to get removed, and we need to connect it in over, like, here. Like this. So it has to go in the corner. I think. Maybe not, actually, but I want it to go in the corner consistently. So that'll be fine for now. So that's grass there. That's meadow. Yeah, that seems all fine. We do need to get this Chinampa built. These are maturing at this point, so that looks good. We can start getting those online soon enough. City mood is currently average. We're starting to get these built out over here. That should be reasonably fine for now. So no major issue out over there. Over this direction, of course, we're going to need to be working on a fair amount of expansion over here. So we're mostly just waiting on these Chinampas to mature, and this one still needs some additional work. So that's understood. You're scrapping the canal bridge? Okay, that's this one here. This is now a swamp, and this should be remade into the canal. Let's see here. Canal. There we go. Perfect. Because that transforms it from a canal to a canal bridge. So that seems absolutely fine for now. So these canals out over here are actually completed. So that's fine. Basically, all we're waiting on is this Chinampa, and that's about to get finished. Beautiful. So now that's working on maturing. That looks good. 30%, 50% over here, and 10%. Looks excellent. So this noble compound is at 20 out of 25. It'll go up once this sauna is providing full service. Okay, so it's currently providing 10 out of 20 diversion and 10 out of 20 healthcare. And I think that's because it doesn't have enough timber. Perhaps. Requires plumbing access to provide full services. Is that happening down over here? No, this is providing 14 out of 20, though. Okay. So that's the ambience there. This is the axe monies. Can be collected as tax. Okay. So this is the timber. This is the integrity. 150 out of 150. Okay. So this is at 20 out of 20. It's providing 14 out of 14. And then if we come up over here to this sauna, this is providing 10 and 10 still. So that's interesting. I'm not sure why that's the case. This is providing 10 out of 15. Possibly because, oh, it wants a shrine to Tezcatlipoca. I don't think I pronounced that correctly, but that's what it wants. So that's understood. We could maybe cram one in down over here. Abysmal symmetry down here? Yeah, I'm not terribly shocked about that. What if we were to try to put it in up over here? This would be average symmetry. This would be strong symmetry. And it would reach that sauna. Do it. Okay, so we're going to get that going. And then this sauna down over here would want pretty much the same thing. I wonder if we could fit in a similar shrine here. That would only be good symmetry. Weak symmetry here. Strong symmetry here. Beautiful. Do it. So we'll get that going. That seems fine. That should get our additional diversion coming in. So that looks good. Ambience is holding back development over here. We can just pave the roads over here to at least help that. And that would just be in the areas surrounding this noble site. So maybe something kind of like this. Yeah, something like that. So we'll let that get going. Let's check in over here on these Chinampas. 60%, this one's done, and this is at 90%. Beautiful. So we're going to want to put in a farmer's hut right here. And then, of course, we're going to want to put in maize fields. And these are going to be pretty good in terms of how much they produce. This is going to, in theory, be quite a lot more because of the irrigation. And that is absolutely excellent. So we'll just do something kind of like this. This Chinampa here isn't done yet. It's at 90%. That's going to be a chili bed as soon as that's finished. So there we go. It just finished, and we'll put that right in. This one's at 70%. That's going to take a little while. And these out over here, they're being worked on. I'm not terribly concerned about it, but we can work on reclaiming that. Now, one question that I have as we finish these is, what happens with like this lake tile? I think we can Chinampa the lake tiles as well, which will be kind of wild. So this one's still at 70. We've got people on the way down here in theory. Yeah, it looks like they're starting to construct this. Cool. So this is now at 80%. We're short of common workers. You don't say. So we've got this shrine up over here. That's going to, of course, require a priest to oversee it, but we'll have that done soon enough. So that all seems pretty good, in theory. We apparently can't reach these areas up here. Ah, yeah, that would be the case, actually. So we should have a canal bridge here to connect to the farmhouse, and then a bridge here to connect to the actual locations. There we go. So we'll put in a canal bridge up over here in theory. This guy is building stuff like mad, but he's going to be stuck in here right now. So we want this canal bridge to get placed, and that'll free him up. So that's fine. We can also put in canal bridges on the far side like this so that we can theoretically get over to the other side. Okay, so that'll work fine for now, and that'll allow us to get all of this going. Now, as far as, like, reach to the next location goes, we'll see. For now, let's extend this road out. We'll probably have to put porter yards at periodic points over this way. And to that end, we may want to consider some preemptive Chinampas in, like, this area to just clear up a bunch of this space. So that'll be something along the lines of that for now. And we can just start pushing these Chinampas out as needed. We want to get to having this clear, for sure. Okay, so we're definitely making some progress here. Yeah, this farm is starting to come online. It's got one resident in it right now. And now there's a farmer here too. Perfect. So that is starting to happen. Some of our masons are lacking stone. I think that's a distribution problem, not anything else. But I want to check in on the status of this shrine. Okay, it only needs 2 stone to get that finished. That should happen pretty quickly, to be honest. We've got some stone stored here, and that can reach. Enemies are coming from the northwest. Okay, that will be out over this way, I believe. So this is all finished up over here, surprisingly. So if they're coming from the northwest, then we should probably have forces just come on up over here. Because we know for a fact that they're going to be coming from over this way, right? So we should just file on out. They'll arrive in a month, and we will get there. So down over here, needs access to cloth. Well, this cloth weaver just isn't getting staff, unfortunately. We just don't have enough people over this way. Although I'm looking at this, and this doesn't quite fully reach down here. This farmer's hut would, though. Okay, so that's not the northwest at all. Okay. This is actually from the northeast. But we're going to have our forces turn on around, and they're going to come out over here. Disband this. And disband this. Everyone should come out over this way. There we go. We don't have this fully built up yet. They're just obsessed with coming from this direction, though. Well, we'll have some forces able to get out to this wall, but it's going to be a little tough. For sure. We'll get there eventually. So for now, we've got these guys out over here. We are now beginning to work on these fields. It still needs some work. This is now ready to go, though. So let's go ahead and put a farmer's hut right here. And of course, we're going to do the same thing as before. This is going to be maize beds like this. 5.2 maize per year there, in theory. And then we'll get some fruit trees going in here. And some chili beds. These should grow significantly faster now that they're irrigated. So that should, in theory, be good. The spearman is trying to give first aid out over here. Okay. This is a lot of them. No doubt about that. Well, we are beginning to staff this wall, so that looks good. They are arriving soon, but so are our forces. So this looks good. Hopefully we actually fight from the walls this time. That would be nice. Okay. We are doing some fighting here, but we also walked out and are trying to rescue some of the people here. That's not ideal. But we are doing some fighting. Some. There's so many of them, though. Yeah, I really dislike the fact that our troops just try to run out and try to rescue some of the people that are out here instead of fighting. Like, wait until after the battle is won to do that. That would be ideal. So we're definitely losing some forces here. There's no shocker there. They're supposed to be manning the walls, but they decided to sally forth instead, for reasons. And a lot of them are just kind of standing there, but we might be able to hold this off, maybe. At the very least, we've done a lot of damage to them. That's for sure. They don't seem too interested in running yet, so we'll get there. We've got another force coming in here. This is not great, of course. This is a trading force, but we'll see what we end up getting here. I feel like we're trading kind of okay. Some of them just broke. So that's very good. And at this point, we may as well have these guys, hang on, what's this doing? This isn't us. I'm not sure where our flag went. Okay. Well, some of their forces broke, and we would very much like it if the rest of them would too. That would be great. Well, here's some more guys coming. It took them a very long time to get here, that's for sure. I feel like we're losing this battle right now, but, I mean, once they break in, there's not that many of them, right? That's the thing. We have taken down a large number of them. So that looks good. Now, as far as the rest of this goes, we've got this shrine over here. It's needing someone working in it. And this sauna is at 1 of 2 citizens again. Okay. And where did we see that this wanted... Okay, this wants the same type of shrine. Okay. So we definitely need to get a priest there, that's for sure. How's this going? Well, they're currently attacking the gate, and the gate's about to fall. There it goes. Our levies were dispatched to Tlatoani. What timing? So these guys are going to continue to try to file in and do as much damage as they can, but there's only so much damage that they can actually do. Oh, we've got all of these guys here. Confirm. Come on out here. Come fight. They were supposed to all be out here. I assumed that they were, but apparently not. And then we've got like this archer over here that's just not bothering to fight. I don't know. The combat in this game is pretty janky and it feels like it needs some work. That's for sure. Like a lot of these guys are just not really doing anything, right? But we've got some forces on the way over now, and we should be able to stave this off, I think, before it does too much damage, in theory. Like, they're focusing on attacking a lot of our buildings now, and our guys are definitely going to do a lot of damage to them. So if we rotate this over like this, we can see, yeah, there's definitely stuff happening. I have no idea who's who. But we're doing damage to them, and that's what's important. With any luck, they'll start fleeing soon. Some of them are breaking. And that's very good. We absolutely want them to get out of here. I'm going to move our flag up here, telling us to advance at this point. Okay, so they've damaged our walls significantly, but nothing else, really. So the enemies have now been beaten. We're going to disband. Excellent. They are out of here. So at this point, of course, we need to rebuild. So we've got some sections of wall here. So that's the first thing that I'm going to rebuild. So the walls we are going to have be rebuilt like this. And then these are towers right here, and right here. And then this is a gatehouse. And I still don't know which way is forward and which way is backward. I'm going to build it this way. So we'll get that going, and that'll happen eventually. Now, if we check in down over here, we can see that we currently have this farm fairly online. It is being worked on. This farm is progressing slowly. Okay. So I do want to start working on another set of canals up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. And then this will connect in like that. There we go. And then we'll have roads here, 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 and here. And then we'll fill in everything that we can here with chinampas. So we'll get that underway. That looks excellent. Look at this. We're at 825 maize. So I think we're good on our food production now, to be honest. I don't think we need to get too much more production going on down over here. That looks good. We do need to get this shrine going. Nearby housing, huh? I really don't feel like that should be an issue because this house here is at 6 of 12. This one here is at 5 of 8. This one's at 4 of 8. So the question is, are priests a noble job? Maybe? Maybe. Vacancy for priest. I wish it said whether that was a noble job or not. These are both servants. So yeah, I don't know if that's a noble job. We've got this here, which has the... Okay, I'm guessing the gray backgrounds are the commoner jobs, and the blue background is a noble job. That's my theory, anyway. I don't know if that's actually the case, but that's definitely the theory that we're going with. But we need more commoners down over here. And if we keep getting attacked by these huge forces, that's going to be, you know, a bit of a problem. But for now, I think this is fine. So this is saying that we only need 5 additional jobs, but really the issue is that they're not moving in down here. They're moving in other places, like potentially up here or like up here, and we don't necessarily need those jobs there. This home needs maize to develop. That is mostly just a distribution issue, I feel like. These are merchants peddling goods and reveling at the sauna. Okay, that's interesting. So, are you a citizen? Yeah, you're a commoner. Okay. Interesting. But this is an elite who is currently preparing meat. Way out at this hunter lodge. So, that's good to know. Now, if we take a look at this porter yard, it'll be able to reach here. Although, kind of only just-ish. It'll be able to reach. It might even be able to get one more farm there. But I'm pretty content with our amount of maize that we've got coming in right now. So that seems good. What we need over here is diversion. And we definitely could think about... Okay, I'm noting that this became swamp. Cool. So that's good to know. So if we were to try to put in a plaza down over here, would this be okay in terms of... Okay, this is still blocked. So we're going to need more chinampas over here then. So just get whatever chinampas you can going over here. That'll be fine. We'll reclaim a little bit of territory over there. That might be enough to cram a plaza in right around here. We'll see. The real question then is symmetry and distance to this noble compound. That's the real question at that point. But I also feel like this would be solved if we had a priest in here. So we could think about putting in a house right here. In fact, I'm going to do it. Let's put in a house right there. That'll be fine. Cool. So that looks good for now. This is all going to be underway, but for the moment, I feel like we're doing pretty well as far as food goes. So we can keep building these down over here, and that would be fine. And we can start transitioning some of these into being Megui farms. So that's not a terrible concept either. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we've only got 1 year remaining. I just realized that. We need to get these noble compounds upgraded, but it's kind of tough. Well, this one really just needs diversion. This one over here needs nothing except cloth. I mean, if we can't get this cloth weaver to get any jobs... It's got a market here. It's got a small house here that's not quite within range, I suppose. I guess what we could do is we could bring a road over like this. This would be a really awkward sort of situation. That terrain is blocked. Oh, right, the Megui bed's here. We could put a common home here. I don't think we can go down this cliff, though, because it's a corner. No. So, in that case, we could relocate this guy over to here and then over to here. Or I guess just delete them and put in new ones over here. Yeah. I don't love it, but we need to get this solved. This guy's ready to be promoted as long as we get it some cloth. Another thing we could do is we could have this guy here be collecting cloth. So instead of stone, get rid of the stone, have this be to balance cloth. That's a theoretical thing that we could try to do as well. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.